Most people live ordinary lives not because they lack talent, but because they never question the limits placed around them. They wake up, repeat yesterday, follow the same patterns, accept the same excuses, and call it life. They do what is expected, not what is possible. They obey fear, not purpose. And slowly, without even realizing it, they settle. But every generation, every era produces a few individuals who refuse to live that way, a few who choose a harder path, a few who decide to become the exception. Being the exception is not about being better than others. It's about refusing to be controlled by the same fears, habits, and excuses that keep most people stuck. It's about standing up when it would be easier to sit down. It's about continuing when quitting would be more comfortable. The exception is not born special. The exception is built day by day, decision by decision. Look around you. Average has become acceptable. Comfort has become the goal. People want success without sacrifice, confidence without struggle, results without discipline. They want change, but they don't want to change themselves. They complain about their circumstances but protect the habits that created them, and then they wonder why nothing improves. The exception understands something most people ignore. Your life will not change until you do, not when luck arrives, not when conditions improve, not when someone rescues you. Your life changes the moment you decide that excuses are no longer allowed to run your future. Being the exception means doing what others won't so you can live how others can't. It means waking up early when your bed feels too comfortable. It means working in silence while others make noise. It means saying no to distractions when everyone else says yes. It means choosing discipline over motivation because motivation is temporary, but discipline builds destiny. The world is full of talkers. Everyone has plans, everyone has dreams, everyone has something they want to do one day. But the exception understands that one day is a lie. One day is where dreams go to die. The exception acts now, even when they don't feel ready, even when confidence is low, even when the path is unclear. Because clarity comes from action, not waiting. You don't become strong before the struggle, you become strong through the struggle. You don't gain confidence before trying. You gain confidence by surviving failure. Every setback you face is either shaping you or stopping you, and the difference depends on your mindset. Average people see failure as proof they should stop. The exception sees failure as proof they are learning. Average people ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The exception asks, "What is this teaching me?" Average people avoid discomfort at all costs. The exception understands that discomfort is the price of growth. If you want an extraordinary life, you must be willing to endure extraordinary pressure. Diamonds are not formed in comfort, they are formed under intense pressure deep underground where quitting is not an option. You are no different. There will be days when no one believes in you, days when your progress is invisible, days when effort brings no applause, days when quitting feels logical. Those days are not punishments, they are tests. Tests of commitment, tests of character, tests of how badly you really want to be different. Most people fail these tests, that's why most people remain average. The exception passes them quietly. Being the exception also means accepting loneliness. When you choose growth, you will outgrow rooms, conversations, and sometimes people. Not everyone will understand your focus. Not everyone will support your discipline. Some will mock you, some will doubt you. Some will feel uncomfortable around you because your effort exposes their excuses. Let them talk. The exception doesn't argue with opinions, the exception lets results speak. You were not born to blend in. You were not created to live small, think small, and aim low. You were given potential that demands responsibility. Ignoring that potential is the real failure. Playing safe is the real risk. Ask yourself honestly, how long will you keep betraying your future for temporary comfort? How many more years will you repeat the same cycle before you demand more from yourself? No one is coming to save you, and that's not bad news, that's powerful news, because it means you are in control. Your habits are shaping your destiny right now. Your choices today are writing your story tomorrow. The exception takes ownership of everything, not just success, but failure too. No blaming, no excuses, no victim mindset. When something goes wrong, the exception doesn't waste energy complaining. They adjust, they adapt, they attack again, smarter and stronger. You don't need perfect conditions to start. You need courage, you don't need approval, you need commitment. You don't need motivation every day, you need standards. Raise your standards. Demand more from your work ethic. Demand more from your focus. Demand more from your mindset. Stop negotiating with laziness. Stop romanticizing procrastination. Stop calling fear being realistic. Fear is not realism, fear is resistance, and the exception learns to move forward with fear, not wait for it to disappear. Courage is not the absence of fear, courage is action despite fear. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you separate yourself from the crowd. Every time you keep going when it hurts, you build a version of yourself that average people will never understand. Every time you refuse to quit, you rewrite what you believe is possible. Success is not one big moment, it's a series of small decisions made consistently, especially when no one is watching. The exception understands the power of consistency, not intensity for 1 week, not motivation for 1 month, but commitment for years, quiet work, daily effort, relentless improvement. You don't need to be the fastest, you don't need to be the smartest, you just need to be the one who doesn't stop. Time rewards persistence. One day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. They won't see the early mornings, they won't feel the sleepless nights, they won't understand the sacrifices, they will only see the results, and by then you won't need their validation. Because you'll know. You'll know that you earned it. You'll know that you didn't quit when it was hard. You'll know that you became the exception when it would have been easier to be average. This is your moment, not because conditions are perfect, but because your decision can be. Decide today that comfort no longer controls you. Decide that excuses are no longer acceptable. Decide that your future matters more than your temporary feelings. Be obsessed with progress, be patient with results, be ruthless with distractions. The world doesn't need another person who talks about change, it needs someone who embodies it. So stand up. Lock in. Commit fully. And when life tests you, and it will, don't ask for it to be easier, ask for yourself to be stronger. Be the exception. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today.